Hey guys.
Hey guy.
Hey.
Hey,
This is
Josh,
Ivor.
you left that hanging. That was
Yeah.
that was a Shatner level pause right there.
I decided to mix it up a little bit.
Hey, this is White Sheep.
Okay.
Yes.
This is
Moving on.
Earth Eagle GT. Hey.
I'm Santiago, and I don't have a YouTube channel.
Not yet.
yeah.
Never say never.
I'm never say never.
Oh,
Wait, I
God.
think we
No.
forgot someone.
Yeah. Hey, I'm David. Blue Flash Comics.
I thought you were Speed Off.
No, that's what everyone in the group calls me. Long story. I'll message you about it later. It's a very in-depth background.
It's not
Okay.
that in depth.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
this is another awesome topic I've been wanting to do for a while, especially recently. It's race in comics. Basically, like everything in general, like everything from Michael B. Jordan, who's black, playing Human Torch, who's usually white, to the whole Mandarin thing, where Mandarin is not Asian, to basically everything, like the whole Nick Fury situation, and basically like I guess it boils down to does race matter for characters? And in my opinion, it doesn't unless the character's origins are tied to their race. Like Black Panther, his race is tied to his origin. Like
Yeah.
he's a prince from a line of African kings in Africa. Like
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people could argue like, oh, what about South Africa? It's like, no.
well,
Yeah.
no, that's not where Wakanda
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
South Africa.
Just like also, Static, he could be
Yep.
white technically. Like a lot. Well, the thing with him though is that with his origin, they touched upon a lot of like racism and stuff like that
Yeah.
with his like background and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
and like the city he lives in, like predominantly black. Because we have Icon and all the other black heroes basically are from there.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
in a way, I consider like for characters like Static, Black Panther, their origins, their race is kind of tied to it, just like to that degree.
Mhm.
But then we
Well-
have characters like Green Lanterns. You can be any race.
Yeah, because there's like multiple Green Lanterns, and it really.
Yeah, we
doesn't-
have.
But
Yeah.
yet they're all American.
Yeah, I will say.
Yeah, they're all American.
Even the Muslim one is American.
Yeah, I was
John
really hoping
DC.
he would be from like Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan or something, but nope.
We got to be able to
The-
connect with them somehow. It's how they sell comics.
Yeah.
I
Well, he
mean,
is a
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
Well,
Yet the funny
I-
part is that he was built up so much. Yet the last time he was in a comic was a one-page show of Hal Jordan announcing something, and they showed him one time.
yeah.
That's like it. They
It's one of those
shelved
things
him.
Where, yeah, it's one of those things where if you don't get, it's almost like TV shows because if you don't get a certain amount of views or if they don't sell enough, they're just gonna can you. It's
Yeah.
almost like what happened with Young Justice, pretty much. They didn't sell
Well,
enough
I-
toys,
I
but
gotta say, it's better than like you have a white character and you make him black.
I will
Like-
say
Yeah,
Nick
like what
Fury.
happened with Electro.
that's something that I want to mention too. That's a good point. It seems like this whole changing the race of characters thing has only really come up in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it really started with the Kingpin.
Yeah.
True.
Oh
Or
yeah.
they
Fury.
changed his
Or
race.
Nick Fury.
Well, the
Nick Fury
the
is
Nick
probably
Fury
the
thing was
earliest.
after Daredevil.
Yeah. Kingpin was really like
Well,
the
like-
very first thing.
Like the whole movement
Oh,
of
okay,
it.
okay.
Because after Michael,
Michael Clark Douglas.
no,
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan.
After
my bad.
he played Kingpin, he did a really good job. It kind of showed, like, people kind of started thinking, hey, maybe we could have, like, other people of other ethnicities or races playing these characters. Because the whole Nick Fury thing, that wasn't really a big deal at the time because it was in the Ultimate Universe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, but this was, like, the Daredevil movie. Like, we aren't going to get, like, at the time, obviously, like, we aren't going to see another Kingpin besides this one.
I think.
So,
Well, I mean, I think potentially like the biggest thing that helped Black Nick Fury was there ever any doubt in anyone's mind that that wasn't based off Samuel L. Jackson?
well,
They even
said
mentioned
that they asked
Samuel
him for
Jackson.
his permission.
Yeah,
Use his
exactly. That's
likeness,
the thing.
and then after that, they casted him as Nick Fury.
And I think that's one of the things that really helped it is it's like this is okay, he resembles a popular person He's no nonsense like that. But speaking of Nick Fury, have you guys heard David Hasselhoff is still salty about the fact that
Of
they
course he
changed
would be
the race of the
upset.
character?
Yeah,
Of
of
course
course.
he
Fury
is,
thing of
because he's the
Sam
original.
Jackson.
Well, I will be totally okay if Mark Spector or Moon Knight in the movies is black.
Yeah.
I will be okay with that.
Well,
What I'm wondering is why can't we get white Nick Fury and black Nick Fury in the same movie?
I mean,
Hasselhoff
technically-
and
Didn't
Jackson.
Didn't
If
they
they-
try to explain it in the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
comics-
now White Nick Fury is the father of Black Nick Fury. So yeah, White Nick Fury got around.
Well, that's
course
a
he-
wild card. It's just to
Yeah.
hide the fact that it's a black Nick Fury now.
Yeah, to not make people as mad, I guess.
Yeah, I
you know.
felt
Yeah.
I agree.
the execution of that was really forced. Like, I read the storyline, and it felt like just something they just pulled out randomly. Like, there wasn't really any backstory, like, legitimate backstory to really, like, say, oh, this whole time he was Nick Fury's son. It's just kind of a thing
Yeah.
where they picked a guy, or technically they made him there. They made the character that looks like Sam Jackson, and they were like, he was totally, his name's like Marcus Johnson or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was in like another comic. He's a black guy, and they just brought him back. Like he's like a soldier, and they're just like, oh yeah, he's the son of Nick Fury. Like I forgot exactly every detail of it because it's been a while, but yeah,
You know what I wish they would have done is said like, oh, Nick Fury is a name like James Bond.
that'd be cool, like a code name,
Yeah.
like just like an office title, kind of like
Pretty
POTUS.
much. It's not necessarily like POTUS, but it could be like an agent code name.
Yeah,
I mean, they sort of mention it. I don't know. The only other example I can come up with, other than like James Bond, is the whole A-Team thing, where they mention it's like Lynch. The name Lynch is passed down a lot, apparently.
yeah.
I don't know. I think that would just the whole name Nick Fury kind of
Yeah.
sounds like a code name, anyways.
Okay.
So
Yeah, like spy kind of thing.
Well,
anyways.
how do you guys feel about the like racing comics? Do you guys care about it really?
Yeah, depending on the origin, like you said, like with if it has to be black, obviously he has to be black. But if it doesn't matter, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like if they turned what's his name, Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, black and gay, I would have been still fine with it.
well,
I mean,
that's
it doesn't affect its origin.
Well,
part of the thing. It's like it's Alan Scott. I don't think many people care anymore.
Yeah, let alone even
Yeah.
know about Alan Scott.
Also, it's in Earth
Yeah.
too. It's not in the mainstream. It's not
but
like they're
Earth
turning
2's
Batman
good.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
would
I
love
gotta
to see
say,
a black Batman.
I gotta say, as a Mexican, I really care when the character is from like Latin origin or something.
Yeah. I hear that.
Because
You have
it's really
vibe.
it's no, well, it's not my favorite. Actually, I'm more like a Marvel person, but before the New 52, there was this like Aqua girl, Lorena Rivera, or something like that. She was pretty cool, and
And then they shelved her.
they rebooted everything, and she get lost. No, whatever. But
Just like
I really
Wally West, and now they have to bring him back.
Yeah, but I gotta say that it's really important to make
Yeah.
the characters feel like their origin native or something like that.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where they definitely. I mean, it's really important because comics are not just like an American phenomenon. It's like it was mentioned before. All these comic book characters, all the Green Lanterns are American, but there's so much diversity, and comics are such like a global thing that you kind of do have to have all races, creeds, and colors represented.
Yeah.
So on that perspective, I think I'm fine with race in comics. The only thing I'm hesitant about is changing the race of a character for no reason. And I'm gonna say the only example I have of that is I would say this whole Michael B. Jordan thing, because something like Miles Morales taking over as Spider-Man.
Mhm.
That's explained. It's not it's a person, like the suit changes hands almost. The mantle of the superhero changes hands. It's a completely different person. Nick Fury, same deal. And that's not a big deal for me. But the whole thing is like, with Johnny Storm, it's like, what's the reasoning? Other than
Unless-
we want
Yeah.
Unless
but-
if they turn Sue black,
No,
they're gonna do
Well,
Actually,
wait.
they don't need to.
Yeah, like
it would
they
be
could say
better
Johnny
if
Storm's
Ben Grimm
adopted.
was the black guy.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Like,
'cause-
let me just I'm sorry I want to interrupt you, but it's like with the whole Michael B. Jordan when people say he's black. Why don't we just make Sue black, or like we can just make him adopted? Like I don't know how many times I have to say this. It's like 2014. People hook up all the time. I actually know people who have like a black brother or sister and are white. So I mean I don't know why everyone thinks that he has to be adopted or Sue has to be black either. Like it's perfectly natural, and people think it's all forced. I don't really think like if the whole family aspect of Fantastic Four, which is like what they're kind of based on, is still there. I really don't care like if any of the characters are black, Asian, or anything. Like as long as that if they feel like the Fantastic Four, I think that's really all that like should matter. Like with any of the characters, like my only hesitant of changing any characters if Black Panther was any other race or if Captain America was any other race. And like
Yeah, but that's-
Well,
actually,
yeah.
there's a black Captain America.
well that you're talking about the bald guy with the that's not Captain America though.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
Patriot.
like he was like
I mean,
Patriot.
Patriot.
Green
Yeah,
screen.
Patriot.
Yeah. But like Captain America wouldn't make sense. I'm saying this he wouldn't make sense in the term because he's back in
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
We're
Let me go on record.
America
Michael is one of the.
stop doing
Well,
it.
Hold on, everybody.
Chill.
Everybody, chill out for a second. Chill out. Everybody's. Yeah, no, y'all are all talking at once. Okay.
Okay. Relax. All right.
No.
Basically, though, for the
Okay,
whole
go
Michael B. Jordan thing, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't. All right. So, if for people listening to this, if you don't know, there's this big thing going on right now about the fact that Michael B. Jordan was supposedly casted. I don't think they've officially come out yet.
Oh.
If they said he is Human Torch or not, but he's at least a very likely candidate for the role of Human Torch, which it's a very split decision. Like a lot of people are okay with it, a lot of people hate it. My personal opinion, I'm surprised if any character was going to be black, it wasn't the Thing, because that would have been like the
Yeah.
safest route they could go for. And I could really see someone that looks like the Thing having a deeper voice just due to his appearance. I'm not being racist. I'm not saying black people always have deep voices, but I'm saying
I just gotta
he's-
bring up, like,
he's
Prince.
like a rock monster. Like
True.
essentially, he's a rock monster. That's the closest way to describe him. Really, you'd expect him to have not like the lightest voice in the world.
Yeah.
But anyways, touch upon that, I'm surprised they didn't go that safe route. For all we know, they could still do that. Michael B. Jordan's the Thing, because they're probably just gonna mocap it. But
Well, let me.
with the Human Torch, it doesn't bother me all too much because of the fact that I was reading a few Fantastic Four comics the other day. We're making a character bios on them, and nothing the Human Torch has done really relates to his race at all.
Yeah.
So I could see, them getting away with changing it, and most likely if they do, they'll go the adopted route, and they could really play it well with Johnny Storm because he was always the hothead of the group, and like if any member of that group was like the outcast, or not the outcast, was probably like the loner, so to speak, it was probably the Human Torch because he always was going out doing his own thing. Like Reed would say, we need to stay here and test our abilities, stuff like that. Human Torch would be like, no, I'm gonna go do a stunt thing.
I think that was actually. I think you're quoting
Yeah,
the
you're-
2004
Yeah, you're
movie. At
quoting
this
the
No,
point.
movie right now.
Yeah.
No, I was reading Fantastic Four Season 1, and after they get their powers, Reed Richards says, all right, we need to lock ourselves in the Baxter building and do tests on us to find out like our abilities, what they're doing to us, stuff like that. And Human Torch, Johnny Storm, instead, he's like, you know what? I'm going to go ride my motorcycle in the middle of New York, then light myself. Well, while he's driving and he's speeding, he eventually, flames on and starts flying.
So exactly
So
like
Who'd-
the movie.
Who'd have thunk it?
He has
the
that
movie was
rebellious
actually
attitude.
accurate.
It's
Yeah.
the movie,
So
except
he-
in the movies.
I-
So
Hold on.
Johnny Storm has a rebellious attitude that you can, fit in with the stereotypical adopted like kid thing, where like the adopted kid always feels like outside, the natural family kind. Like they could always morph around and be like that stereotypical thing, whatever.
We get you. We get
So
you.
yeah, I don't mind really as long as they don't try playing the race card with the character, like do some like racist joke or something like that, like something that doesn't need to be in there.
Well, I doubt that'll happen.
Like honestly, Michael B. Jordan, he's a good actor after seeing Chronicle, Friday Night Lights, That one movie where he
Did not
played
even
the guy.
mention Fruitvale.
Yeah,
That's what I meant
Fruitvale.
to say.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name.
Let
I
me,
kept on thinking about the Denzel Washington train movie. Taking
that
up
has that
him,
sounds.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's
But
John Travolta.
yeah, no, but yeah, he's a good actor, so I don't mind. The only thing that's really gonna make it or break it for me is when I see the concept for the character that they're gonna
Yeah.
use. Like,
I got you.
who is he gonna be? Like, what type of
Let
Johnny
me-
Storm are we gonna see?
Let me try to play you off here. I didn't have a piano on hand, so I mean, you got to the point in Oscar speeches where they're like, "Get off, fucking stay." But no, to me, Michael B. Jordan is such a great actor.
Yeah.
Like he's in that young class of actors. I think Chronicle was, that sort of movie for showing them off. Like all of those guys are fantastic, and so I think he'll be great in any role. But to me, it's one of those things where, did you have to change the character? No. So what it comes down to for me is I'm not just going to be able to take this as, oh yeah, this is going to be great no matter what. I'm going to have to see it. Like, I'm going to have to see how they change it. It's almost
Yeah.
like with Miles Morales. You guys remember what happened. It's like, we're going to have to see this new Spider-Man to see how it pans out because it might not be good. Or like with Superior, too. It's like, no, I don't think anybody was sure how that was going to turn out. So for me, it's more of a, if you're going to make major changes to the character, I've got to see it before I believe it.
Yeah, because like with that, like my only fear is that like I'm okay with the idea, but if they have him in the movie and then they keep dwelling on like if he is adopted, like he keeps bringing it up, like I don't want that to be like a main focus in the movie. I'd rather be like, this is what it is. She's my sister. If she's white, I'm black. That's just how it is, and then that's like all it is. Like that's the whole discussion.
I'd kind of like if they settled it like that. It's like somebody's like talking about how they're adopted, and he's like, "No, she's my sister. That's it."
Yeah.
One of the things that help Miles Morales work is that they don't touch the black stuff. So
They just
he's
embrace
he's
it.
just yeah he's just a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Oh
much.
yeah, I see. Like they're not bringing
It's
it
one of those
serious.
things where,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Fantastic.
that's
It's
All right.
by.
what's up.
So, I said I think it helps them out too that they already have had 2 Fantastic Four movies. Like they had the
Yeah.
series before, which had Chris Evans
Yeah.
playing Human Torch. So they've already, like the audience has already been exposed. Like they can't complain, oh, we're never gonna get a white Human Torch because they've gotten one. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those
Yeah.
things where I can see him pretty much right now. Just picture in your head. Because honestly, 2004 Fantastic Four, not the worst movie in the world, because the sequel was the worst movie in the world. But just like picture in your head like a scene with Chris Evans, like one of his scenes, because he was like a highlight of that movie.
Yeah.
And replace Chris Evans with Michael B. Jordan. I
I
think
could see
Michael.
that.
Yes, exactly. He could pull off the exact same characters to me. So I've actually, and listening to you guys talk, I have convinced myself that he will be good in that movie.
Yes. And
If he's actually in it.
Well, see, here's the thing: is they're supposed to
Do we
shoot in
know?
like a couple months.
I thought it was
March.
kind of like
Yeah.
I thought they kind of said it was, but I don't know if they officially confirmed it. But
I don't know if they even
Well,
officially. have a
apparently their
director.
last deadline is March, and if they don't start shooting by March, and if they don't shoot by April, rights back to Marvel.
No, that's not true.
I don't know.
Actually, the
Oh,
way
that's-
it works is they have to have a movie in production by the end of this year. That's the terms of the contract. So
Oh.
and that's at any
Okay.
stage in production. That's like
they could just have like casting and like, hey,
pretty much they could still be casting, but I think they want to get it out.
yeah. And I think
So basically, what you're saying is they say the Fox announces Michael B. Jordan and Human Torch at like December 30th, and they still get it.
Well, I think it's one of those things where there has to be reasonable, like they have to show reasonable progress.
Yeah.
So they
It's
can't
more
just
like,
stall and sit on the product. But I mean, it's
They,
such a
they need to
potential
show
money-
to show a paper.
Yeah,
You know.
I think
yeah.
it's one of those things where it's such a potential moneymaker. I don't see why they would sit on it any longer. But anyways, so Michael B. Jordan, we talked about that. Josh, I know you have some other ideas where you want to go with this. So lead off. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
okay. Since you had to say, oh Captain, my Captain, I feel like Robin Williams right now.
Good.
For anyone that actually gets that joke and had a good childhood and watched that movie,
is that Peter
um,
Pan movie?
No, it's Patch
Dead
Adams.
Poets Society.
Oh, Patch Adams.
Wait, no, was it Pat? Wasn't it Patch? No,
it was
no.
Dead Poets Society.
No, it was Dead Poets Society because he said that in the class.
Patch
Sorry.
Adams.
He-
Wow.
that's like swing and a miss.
I'm sorry. There's so many Robin Williams movies.
Patch
Like,
Adams.
No,
Oh my
he's
gosh.
did it a lot.
and actually, you know what? Okay, CJ, calm down.
It's from a poem.
Okay.
It's
Anyways.
called Dead Poets Society.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm done. Okay. I think I got it now.
Okay. Anyways, all right. So further on the discussion, this year Marvel was the king of controversial like race changes. We had the Mandarin thing. Everyone complained the Mandarin's not Asian. But one thing I thought was fascinating was when they thought the Mandarin was going to be Middle Eastern. No one complained a bit about it because he was going to be a terrorist.
Yeah.
But then again, they did set up the 10 Rings to be like that too. So I can see why. But I just
Yeah.
thought it was interesting that, you know, we can have the Mandarin be Middle Eastern, but we can't, and like not Asian people are okay with that, but he's white, God forbid, you know.
Well, technically, the Middle East is still in Asia.
Well, I know, but you know, people don't consider them
I know.
the
I
same.
know. I got you.
and stuff. But
I think
it's just like
honestly,
European and Asian, you know.
there
they're
would
both
be
the
an
same
issue of.
continent,
I
technically.
think there would still be an issue. Like some purists would be like, why is this happening? Like
Yeah.
we want Asian Mandarin.
What?
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's still the issues.
A
Well,
lot.
Asian Mandarin
surprised-
was racist as hell.
I'm surprised we
True.
haven't talked about this yet. Probably the greatest didn't happen, but we all wish it did happen. And don't hide it. You know you do want this. Donald Glover as Spider-Man.
I did want it.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
just because I love
Yes.
Donald Glover. I don't care if the movie was bad. I love Donald Glover.
Let me go on.
Here's the thing. In case you guys didn't know this, Miles Morales was created due to Donald Glover because
Well, actually, that's
Brian Michael
Unconfirmed.
Bendis. Well, no, Brian Michael Bendis said on his Tumblr he was watching Community, and there is an episode I can't remember which one where Donald Glover wakes up in Spider-Man pajamas. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a joke at the whole Donald Glover for Spider-Man thing, but he does, and then Brian Michael Bendis just had the idea: what if we had a black Spider-Man? So, according to Brian Michael Bendis' Twitter, which I'm hoping is ran by him,
hashtag fake
Yeah,
Brian
it
Michael
is.
Bendis.
It
Uh,
is.
based on what he said there, it seems like the campaign for Donald Glover went to the community, like the community writers used that, made a joke of it, a tiny joke by having Donald Glover wake up wearing Spider-Man stuff. Brian Michael Bendis saw that on Community, got the inspiration to make a black Spider-Man, or got the idea at least to make a black Spider-Man, and there we go, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would pay big money just for someone to Photoshop Miles Morales' suit with Donald Glover's face.
Someone
already
has
done
done
that.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh.
that's Google Images.
Okay,
Like,
Google Images, it's happening.
I think with the reason Brian Michael Bendis really he did that because not only it was a great idea, I think he also heard out like the fans' request wanting this because this kind of like goes back in the whole thing there's a lot more white superheroes than any other ethnicity, and I think if I'm a purist for anything, I'm a purist for not wanting to change any other like minority's race. Like I'm okay with like the white superhero. Like, it sounds bad, but I'm okay with like white superheroes changing their race because most white superheroes it doesn't affect like who they are, except for like Captain America. But like
A lot of them were made
huh?
like by white people,
Yeah, but like
and like
it-
during a
Something
time
just
period where you know
it's freezing.
like
Mhm.
if Thor was
white
white,
people were like you know.
yeah, if Thor was white, I really wouldn't care because it doesn't have to do anything with the character or who he is.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like
He is white.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
if he
he
was
is.
not white, sorry, if he was not.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
So,
like,
black-
what type of Thor are you watching?
Yeah, if he wasn't white, it wouldn't affect me because
Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah,
True. I love Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, he's
I
like a
would love
horse.
The Rock to
Oh, I
play
know.
Beta Ray Bill.
Who does not love Better and
No,
Bill?
let me just go on record to say, if The Rock were to play any Marvel character or any DC character, Black Adam, any Marvel character, Beta Ray Bill. Like, just look at Beta Ray Bill, and like,
Yeah.
first off, he's like the most jacked up hero
He's like a
in the Marvel
horse.
universe that I could think of, besides like the Hulk.
he's a horse.
Like his face is a horse. Look at those arms, man. Like his arms are like
Oh god, you
Twice
said arms
Chris
armies
Hemsworth.
can see this.
Hashtag hybrid for Beta Ray Bill 2014.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
god.
Let's talk about Electro, though. I know Amazing Spider-Man 2 is coming out soon. Obviously, the Amazing Spider-Man comic, hilariously, is coming back the same time, like in time to promote the movie. And the first villain of the arc, obviously, is Electro.
What a coincidence.
Oh, really?
Which will have
not
a new
surprised.
appearance, by the way. They said you'll have a
What?
new appearance. They haven't said like if it'll be blue or not, but it's been confirmed. Electro, when he comes back in Amazing Spider-Man #1 or #2, whichever one they decide to put him in,
Well,
he will be having a new appearance.
Make
He'll be
him
more
black.
shocking
Make
stuff.
him-
he's actually blue now. I remember that I read the end of the Word story arc from Amazing Spider-Man, and he is like a spark silhouette. So he's already like that, I think.
He looks
So
just like
basically,
Ultimate.
we're getting the ultimate Electro, but with a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really one thing that really bugs me is how much the movies. Because just briefly going slightly off topic, the movies are obviously heavily inspired by the Ultimate Universe
Mhm.
comics. Mostly, I think, because the Ultimate comics were made in the contemporary period. So a lot of the stuff that they have are like contemporary issues. Like back in the day, radiation was a big thing. So X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, they all got their powers from radiation. So does the Hulk. Nowadays, the big thing is genetic engineering. So Spider-Man got his powers from genetic engineering. All the other heroes essentially got their powers from genetic engineering, genetic manipulation attempts in the Ultimate Universe. And obviously, if you look at the MCU, it seems to have like moved over with that too, and then Amazing
And
Spider-Man.
even with all the
So-
X-Men, they're about to explain the origin of that. That might be like a government thing too.
Yeah, I
What,
think that's a
with the
big
movie?
reason they've made so many radical changes in the Ultimate Universe. Not because writers are trying to experiment, but I think because it was getting to a point where the mainstream comics were trying to be like the movies, obviously,
Yeah.
to like kind of like cross promote each other. So like if you watch the movie,
Yeah.
then you pick up the comic, it wouldn't be a drastic change for you. And if you like got the comic, went to the movie, it would be a nice transition also. But because they borrowed so heavily from the Ultimate comics, it basically they're becoming like the same.
That's another thing that's a topic for another discussion at some
I think we've
point.
talked about it.
Probably do movies influence comics too much?
I think we did talk about that.
Did we talk about
Really
it?
did,
Yeah.
huh?
Did.
Let's talk about
what
it
are we talking
again.
about? We're talking about race in comics. So yeah, Electro. How do you guys feel about Jamie Foxx, a black male,
no-
who I met actually? He's actually pretty cool.
I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am solidly on that boat. I love Jamie Foxx. He's another, like I said, he's a great actor, and it seems like the way they're doing it, it seems like they're not changing the character really at all.
No, they're
if
not.
If you've seen the pictures of him as an engineer, it's not like, oh, Jamie Foxx plays a gangster who falls into a barrel of electric eels.
Well, they're
No.
changing like how the character is. Like he's really like
Like,
low self-esteem
sympathetic
and
more,
nerdy-ish. and
Well,
stuff
well,
like that.
I gotta
That's
say,
about it.
All I want to
In
say
the
Alright,
comics,
All right,
Max
everybody,
Dillon.
let's slow down. All right,
Grab the
Santiago,
wall.
go
Well,
ahead.
I have some issues from the 90s where the main story arc is about Electro. It's called Light the Nights. And it's essentially that Electro as a person feels like with low self-esteem. And he wants to be the only light in New York. So I think they're going this way with Electro. That he from zero he wants to be like this big superstar, but he's doing it grown, no.
True.
But I think that's the way they're doing it, and he's actually like that in the comics.
hmm And even with that and the Electro thing, I don't understand why people are so concerned because no one really cared about Electro up until like the whole casting thing. Like yeah, people knew who he was, but I don't think it was the main thing. Like all the characters that they changed race in the movie so far haven't really like done anything like they've all chosen great actors from Michael Clark Duncan to Jamie Foxx and the possible Michael B. Jordan. I mean, it's not like they're picking bad actors to play these characters. Like,
True.
All
I
I
only
wanna-
have.
All
I-
I wa-
I would
Who wants
say,
to
David,
talk first?
David, did you have any sort of comment on that?
all I want to say is to people who don't like the idea of Jamie Foxx's Electro, he's most for the movie he's going to like tops maybe half an hour he'll be black. No offense, like not trying to be racist, but most of the time he will be blue. So
It's okay,
Just
guys. He won't be
imagine-
black for too long.
Yeah.
Don't feel threatened.
So just imagine him as a white guy for the first 30 minutes, and then you're good.
That's not working.
This
dude.
is terrible.
Here's the thing I found interesting. When they announced Jamie Foxx as Electro, everyone got pissed, you know?
Yeah.
Because in
I'm
their
not.
minds they were probably thinking, you know, they were either picturing a black guy in the classic Electro suit, or they were picturing a black guy in the current Electro suit, not the whole blue thing. But once the whole thing came out where he'd be blue for most of the movie, everyone was cool with it. Just like how Zoe Saldana is. I can't
Yeah, but
remember
Gamora.
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 Yeah, it's Gamora.
Once she was cast as Gamora, nobody had a problem because she'd be green for most of the movie. So like you wouldn't even
Oh,
see her
Yeah,
race.
but also with that, no one cared about Gamora. Like no one
No,
cared
no one
about
cared.
her.
Gamora.
Everyone cares about the talking raccoon. That's how it goes. And the talking
Exactly.
chicken. That's how it works.
That raccoon.
How life works.
I'm really, because I love Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm really hoping that basically puts Guardians of the Galaxy a little more on the map.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sort of like it did with
I
Iron Man,
love
kind of
that too.
technically. But
It's kind of weird how like every single big budget movie kind of does like have a big focus on one like old comic. Like I'll take Dark Knight Rises into example. My best friend, he actually has a comic where he gets the Batman gets the magic knee brace.
Really?
And like it, yes, I'll show you pictures of it. Send it later if I can get it from. But and like Santiago said, Electro wants to light up the night that takes out of that comic. Lizard kind of takes out of his first appearance with Amazing Spider-Man. It's kind of weird how like every big budget movie borrows most of its plot from one comic.
Oh, you reminded me of something. All right, so before we probably inevitably talk about Idris Elba being the Black Heimdall and
Oh,
big controversy
yeah.
behind that due to Norse mythology
What's the
and stuff like
big
that.
deal about that? Oh,
All right, so
Heimdall.
basically,
Okay.
in Norse mythology, Heimdall, and in comics too. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
if
think
it's in Norse mythology, but I know
Yeah.
in the comics at least, Heimdall and Sif are brother and sister. So it's this big deal, like why is Jamie Alexander white if Heimdall's gonna be black, or like why is Heimdall like not white? Stuff like that. Honestly, I don't think people really made a big deal out of it as it might have been if it was a major character, because like I just said, Heimdall's not that big of a character per se. Like
Yeah, and
but there's a
I
big
didn't even know
controversy
he wasn't
because
supposed to be
they're supposed to be the
David.
Norse gods, and they're not all white. And like we have Hogun, who's Asian, stuff like that. So that was like the big like deal with it. But the thing that I kind of really want to talk about is the Flash TV show on the CW. I'm surprised it's taking us this long to get to it, especially with David here.
Oh yeah.
Iris West and her family is going to be black.
who's that?
on that
Who's
show.
Iris
Oh,
is like
really?
his love interest,
That's
right?
the first I heard about it.
Really, it's your first time? All the casting calls
no,
that have gone
I mean-
out. They see the thing that's weird and it kind of bugs me that they're doing this. They're purposely going out just to get black actors. They're not even trying to get actors in general. Like I'd be fine with the Asian Iris West, a black Iris West, a Mexican one, a white one, whatever. But for the show, I just kind of wish they weren't like going directly just to seclude for that one color.
Can I just
You
say
know?
something here?
Yeah, go ahead.
If they do Iris West just for the sake of Iris West being black and having a black character, that means if they ever do bring in Wally West, he will the good chance to be black. That will piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, but
Right there, it will piss a lot of the old Justice League TV show fans off. Because
yeah,
I hate to say, because Barry Allen is my favorite Flash, and Wally West can just personally go
Ooh.
himself.
Wally
but-
West is my favorite Flash. Before you
I
diss Wally
respect your
West.
opinion, but I'm just saying I can't stand Wally compared to Barry. But
Well-
everyone knows Wally as Flash because Barry was killed off. That will scream an outcry in the old community, and it won't go good if they turn
Yeah.
Wally black.
Actually, let me jump in real quick with some interesting information. We kind of breezed past Heimdall.
yeah, I was about to go back
Yes,
to
Oh.
BT.
we did.
Played by a black man, but Heimdall is described literally multiple times as the whitest of the gods.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
wow!
Yeah,
Yes.
in mythology, yeah.
Wow.
I'm not sure why he's described as that.
He is
I'm
the
assuming that
whitest.
Vikings didn't know black people existed.
No, they didn't.
But I say that with Viking ancestry. But no, we can go back to the Flash.
Alright,
But
let me-
I just felt like I'd bring
I
that
just
up.
want to
So-
talk about that character. I
Which
remember
one?
Heimdall. Like at the time,
Okay.
it was a big deal for people. But then, like what I said earlier, who cares about Heimdall? Like he's a like, who really cares? Like people who
Well,
But
were
he was a
upset about
badass
it.
in that one scene.
You know,
the only
it's-
scene that
No,
he
I
was
mean,
in.
but I mean, yeah, in the movie. But I mean, like as a character before the movie, like he really didn't
True.
do anything.
No one knew who he
Yeah,
was.
like why I don't.
Yeah.
Like and with the
I mean-
going back to the Flash with the Barry Allen's love interest, if she's black,
she is black.
I mean, well, yeah, she,
You know
that's
what?
confirmed.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
confirmed.
she will be back. I think that will piss so many people off. Like, I'm okay with it personally because I really like. She's just a love interest. Like, it's not like she does anything extra, but just to like
no,
give
but
love
it
to her.
affects Wally. It affects
Not
Wally.
really. How does it affect Wally?
Because
She-
it makes him black.
How does it make
and
him black?
Everyone will hate that.
How does it make
Because
him
it's
black?
Wally West.
No, how does it make
Wait,
him
let's
black?
just establish what is Wally West's relationship
Yeah.
to Iris West. Obviously, they're related by last name. At least we can assume that.
Mm-hmm.
But what is their relationship directly? Like,
They're cousins, right?
Yeah, they're cousins, right?
Yeah, they're cousins.
How does that? Why?
Okay.
Why does
I mean,
he have to be
He
black?
can be still white, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
like she
Like,
could be
I,
like.
I don't
mixed.
know how it's gonna go. I don't know how they're gonna set it up.
well, here's the thing that upsets me. Like, I said it earlier. I'm gonna say it again. The only reason I don't like this decision is that for the CW, they're not even trying to get good actors in general. They're just trying to get a black actor.
Yeah.
And that really bothers me because it at least for me it shows me that they don't really care about, like, obviously hopefully they'll get a good black actor, black actress, but it shows for me that they're just trying to get a race in there just to put that diversity card in.
Yeah, that's why they
Like
got
Arrow has Diggle, which was fine because Diggle is a totally made up character. Diggle's actually he's probably one of my favorite characters on the show.
Is the new Claude.
But I was really hoping what they would do, like if they were to do, is like introduce Iris like later or something like that. Bring Felicity onto on the Flash show, because she looks a lot like the Flash's current girlfriend in the comics. I can't remember
Patty.
her name. Patty. She looks
Patty
a lot like
Spivot.
Patty Spivot.
What I was gonna say was they turn Patty black and keep Iris white. They have two at once, and they shove Felicity off to Arrow at the end. Like after he deals with that, they bring in Iris, then they bring in Patty. One white, one black. You get best of both worlds.
Well, see, I don't even like. I honestly would be open to a Asian Iris, but I just don't like the fact that CW is just gunning for a black actress. They're not even trying
And that's
to get one from they're not even trying to like.
They just
Fix
want
it
the
up.
diversity.
And often,
Yeah.
often that's my issue with changing race and characters like that is because typically to me, you got to do it right, or else it just sort of falls short and ends up looking like you're literally just trying to do it for the
They
publicity.
can do
Yeah,
it,
just like Perry White. Like they casted.
Yeah, I
Why
forgot to
can't I
mention
remember?
him.
Why can't I remember his name?
Lawrence
I'm like-
Fishburne.
Yeah,
Lawrence
Fishburne,
Fishburne.
yeah.
They didn't cast him because
Perry
he was
White
black.
had
They
such
casted
a small
him.
role.
But they casted him because of his acting ability, not because he was black. Same thing with Michael Clark Duncan. They casted him for his acting ability, not because he was black. For most of these movies, like Heimdall, like Idris Elba, they casted him for his acting ability, not because they were black. Like same thing with
with Michael. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. If it does come out, there is tons of white people. I hate saying that, tons of white people. There are tons of actors that were Caucasian that
It's okay, Josh.
said
Just-
they were.
you said it.
and
Go with
run-
it.
Okay, well, anyways, there was tons of white actors that came out saying that they were like gunning for the role, like they auditioned, stuff like that. So that shows that they chose the actor Michael B. Jordan not because he was black, but because of acting ability. So I think if they do that, it's totally fine, unless, like I said before, the origin is tied to their race. But
Or they just don't mention it at all and keep Susan White and just like what Antonio said.
What?
She's my sister. Deal with it.
First of all, that's not my name. Second of all,
Antoine. Sorry.
Antonio.
I am black. I am not Latino.
So many Antonios around me. I call everyone Antonio. I'm sorry.
Honestly, though, I think one race I think needs to get more superheroes is Native Americans.
Oh yeah.
Native Americans
is
have
there
like one
ever-
superhero, and that's it. And that is
The guy who
I think
go
Forge
really
doomed
big.
them all.
what?
I think Forge doomed them all.
No, who's the?
Well,
He's the guy in Young
it's
Justice.
Warpath
It's-
and Warcry from the X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think
there's
To me,
one
it's like-
per publisher. CJ, what's the DC? You know, Super Friends.
Oh yeah, the guy who gets like really big.
some Apache
Chief.
Chief.
Apache Chief.
The
Yeah,
Chief,
Apache
yeah.
Chief
Apache
is the
Chief.
only
Apache Chief.
Native American comic book character I could think of, and then Marvel
Well,
has
I-
Warpath,
If,
I
if,
guess.
if I remember, Jaime Reyes in the Young Justice is like a Mexican Native American.
Yeah, he's like.
Yeah.
So
mixture,
I
yeah.
think he
Native
could
American?
make it.
I thought he was just Latino,
No, I think he was like a
No, but
mixture.
he's like both.
Yeah.
like
Like
Pablo.
Mex-
Steve
Mexican
Pablo.
and
They
Native
mentioned
American.
that, yeah. I mean, the other thing for me is it's one I would love to see that, and I think I hope it'll happen.
Like Cat is
But
just
like I
staring
said,
at him.
I think Forge just killed it for everyone. Because in the '80s, if there was something wrong with the X-Men, it's like, God damn it, Forge, what did you do this time? There was a whole I guess storyline where Forge essentially ended up killing all of the X-Men.
Wait, what?
What?
That's
Yeah.
nice.
What race is Forge again?
He's Native American.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. Yeah.
I thought he was white. Every
No,
other
No, he's Native American.
He's
every
Native
other
American.
adaptation I see, well, I never read Forge in the comics.
I promise you.
Did CJ? I bet he was, but like on every TV show they put him in, he's white, straight
No,
up.
but there was literally like a storyline where he accidentally summoned some spirit. I don't know if it was like a Native American spirit or something,
Spirit.
but it literally ended up killing like all of the X-Men.
Yeah.
They didn't die. Somebody resurrected them or something like that, but
Well, I think they did
like
die.
they all died. Like they had to sacrifice themselves.
Jeez, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I guess
I was like,
even with that Warpath, the guy who's playing him in the movies isn't even Native American.
Boo Boo Johnson
Yeah,
or
Boo Boo
something
Stewart.
like that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian
Boo,
Singer,
boo,
for
boo.
not following the comics.
He's
All
the
right,
Asian.
let's talk about the elephant in this topic. The token black guy in every superhero team.
All right,
You need it.
Uh,
You have
X-Men
Cyborg
First
for
Class.
Justice League.
don't you call Nick Fury the token black guy on the
You
Avengers?
have Nick
he's the only
Fury
black
for
guy.
the Avengers.
Sam Jackson will shoot you in the face.
I want him to.
But
I'd be
he's
honored.
the
Get
only
token
black
out of the
guy.
front of that.
I'd be honored. I'd
Unless
be like Sam
Robert
Jackson.
Downey Jr. becomes black, he's the only black guy.
He won't become black. Come on. Come
I'm joking.
Okay, well, all right. Here, let me be more specific. We have at least. They always put like one colored person per team. And, like, all
True.
right, Teen Titans did. Teen Titans did it too for diversity. They had
Well,
Skitter, who was black, who died in
gotta
like
say-
one issue. They had
And Justice
did
League,
Bunker.
the animated series, did it first with
Jon
the
Stewart.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
good because then they had Jon Stewart with Hawkgirl, which was like
Yeah.
Interracial
no one
couple.
saw that. No one saw it. That was a fun fact. That was the first interracial kiss on an animated television show.
Yeah. Insane.
Shocker.
But I'm pretty sure no one ever saw that coming. The combination of Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart.
Well, I mean, they had a little son too, so that was a cool moment.
The Black Hawk.
But yeah, the Black Hawk.
Black Hawk.
Blackhawk. I think it's Warhawk.
Say that fast, Black Hawk.
That sounds
Black
weird.
Hawk. Oh god.
So yeah, we have what was it called? Icon, Rocket, Static.
Which we don't even see any of those
Milestone
anymore.
Comics. We have Milestone. Yeah, because Static's comic got canceled.
They
After,
all
like, 8
died
issues.
and went to stalled hell, where they'll never get
Well,
another comic.
we gotta talk about Mighty Avengers. The
Oh,
most
yeah.
of the
The Avengers
Hey,
for all the minorities.
yeah. I love that comic.
They should just call themselves the Minority Avengers because the
I-
only white guy on the team, which I'm pretty sure Superior Spider-Man is no longer there, and I'm pretty sure Peter Parker is gonna be like, "Hey, I'm not a part of this."
And then Blade
Yeah.
is finally the shonen guy, so I mean, yeah, it's all black. And, besides White Tiger or whatever her name is.
She's a
Well, she's
Latino.
Hispanic.
Latina.
Yeah.
I love my Latinos.
But I mean, yeah, I mean the token black guy on teams. I mean, it's kind of key because, especially in the world we grow today, soon enough, white people won't be like the majority anymore. And I mean,
Yeah, like-
more people want to see people who look like them. Like I would rather see a team that's like trash full of like all these minorities in like one like super clean all white team, because I feel like I would relate more to them, just more on like the surround, because they did a great job with Jon Stewart talking about all like what he had to go through in the Justice League, and even with Cyborg, I know he was like they didn't really mention his race, and there was like a cute little like joke with him and Starfire saying you never have to understand what's been to have someone that looks like me, and then she was like a robot, and he's like yeah. I mean, but it's I feel like it's kind of key if you want a story, because you have that character that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
major team has a token black character nowadays. Like, look at the White House; they have Obama. Like,
Well,
Uh,
technically,
Obama joke.
technically, Obama's like Superman and one of DC's.
yes, and
he
one of the
is.
all
I have
that
the
comic.
universe
I
is
have
Obama
that
Superman.
comic.
Wait, what?
Well,
Obama,
Wait,
man.
It's an action comic. It's one of the New
And-
52 Action Comics things. I think it's number 8 or number 9.
Flash is black and Batman
Look at
is
it.
black. Everyone's black.
Obama,
Okay.
so it starts off
my
with
God.
Obama, the president of the United States, right? And he gives a speech. He goes back to the Oval Office. Then he just rips his shirt open, Superman.
Yeah.
And he starts flying off doing Superman stuff. He
Oh my god.
he joins forces with like our Superman, like, or no, another white Superman from the future to like
Okay.
fight this guy. It's ridiculous.
It's
but
really-
anyways,
they
yeah,
even talk about
Obama,
his
Superman,
origin.
another universe.
Now that we're talking about the teams, the new Aquaman team and the others, they have like the pretty majority is like from another race. It's just Aquaman the white, I think.
Well, I thought they were all just like fish. I didn't know it was like.
No, they're not that fish.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Wait,
what they are.
Aquaman. He's the guy with the hook in the hand, right?
No one knows who Aquaman is.
Hey guys, let's talk about because we are approaching 50 minutes. Yay! I think the last two
Yes.
things on my mind regarding race I can really think of that we should probably talk about: Luke Cage,
Alright.
that one, and also, God, now it's slipping from my mind.
Green Lantern versus
No, my
John
alarm.
Stewart, Hal Jordan.
Well, John Stewart would win that fight, but
Well, no, I mean like who should be in the Justice League movie?
Green. Oh, the other one, Wonder Woman. There's a big debate over Wonder Woman's race, what it should be. Now, the thing is, depending on the origin they go for, like, she's supposed to have, like, it's assumed she would have the same type of skin tone that, you know, people in the Mediterranean would have,
Mhm.
due to the fact that the Amazonians are supposed to be, like, based off, you know, Greek mythology, stuff like that, and they were, like, olive skin, like, usually,
True.
they were said to be olive skinned, so they're not, like, straight up white and everything. So I actually do like their choice. Gal Gadot does have like the skin tone for it.
She
Obviously,
doesn't have muscle.
It doesn't
well,
matter.
you know,
though.
that could be improved.
yeah.
Like,
That's not a thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Wonder Woman in like pretty much even in the comics right now, she really is not muscular.
yeah, like,
Like she has more muscle than Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
well, it's always
But she's
bothered
not
me that they
muscular.
like don't give the female. Okay, like Power Girl and Supergirl, for example, they can lift. Theoretically, they can lift buildings, but they don't look like they could beat like Mr. Fantastic in an arm wrestling competition.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Fantastic looks more buff than people that can shatter planets with the punch. Like I think one thing that mangas like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, one thing that they get right, well maybe not Naruto all the way, but one thing that like Dragon Ball always got right was when a character is strong, they look strong.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
Goku.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Let's go.
I don't care. But
You don't
more
care?
than
Anime
just that,
fight.
it's one
Anime
of those.
fight.
It's one of the not anime. I'm talking about how
Comics
I just don't
in
think
general.
they
Manga fight.
always. I just don't think that they always need to be like super buff to be strong because
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Like okay, let's look at Supergirl. It's the sun's radiation that's making her strong. She doesn't need to be super buff or even really toned. She's gonna be strong anyways.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where you got to examine like, okay, if it's because I think it's one of those things in comics they don't usually show someone being super strong and not having like a good. I mean, okay, well let me rephrase that. They don't really show like if it's Oh, I don't know.
Well, like
If it's
the Flashpoint Superman, he was really skinny, and he still had like
yeah,
all that.
exactly. And it's plus, it's like look at, it's one of those things where you gotta understand where they're coming from. It's like if it's a human like person that is strong, like Luke Cage, for example. Well, Luke Cage, you know, he's big and he has super strength. That's really not a good example. But like Batman, Batman's big because he doesn't have super strength, but he's strong because he worked at it. People that have gained their super strength through other means, like radiation or genetic mutation or whatever, then it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you don't really have to be super buff.
Well, I'm not
I
saying
mean-
that. I'm saying for someone like Wonder Woman though, who's supposed to be like a warrior.
Yeah, she should.
And I
She
think
should have.
She
muscle.
should have muscle. Like I don't want her to be like jacked up like the Hulk, but I want her to have like a little curve on her
No,
arm.
and I think.
Yeah, which
I
she
think
will.
okay.
Yeah.
I hope she
not
looks like
be
Mother
mild.
Russia from Kick-Ass.
Like at least just give me some like tone on it, so it doesn't look like two
Well,
lines
here's the
that
deal.
are colored in.
The picture that everyone's talking about is Gal Gadot wearing yoga pants and a
Hey.
shirt that looked like she was going to the gym. So nobody mentions the fact that she's dressed and it looks like she's going to the gym.
Honestly,
Um,
I'm not even gonna critique what she looks like right now until I see her
yeah, me too.
in a picture dressed as Wonder Woman, being Wonder Woman. Once I get that, I'll critique her appearance, so to speak, even like as much as you possibly can. I guess.
I'm with Hybrid with this.
Like she's not Wonder Woman right now.
Yeah.
She's trained to be Wonder
But
Woman,
who-
and I think people need to respect
Yeah,
that.
but who is really Wonder Woman? Like, all in all, at the end of the day,
What?
no, wait, no, I gotta. All in all, at the end of the day, she's a fictional character, and everyone perceives fictional characters different. Yeah, we've seen pictures of her, but there's been different pictures of her looking completely different in like different comics. Like, there's pictures of her with that's just like tone, and there's pictures of her with like big butt, big breasts. Like, what are we supposed to say? There's even like the newest one when she's just like skinny and she's just kind of.
There's Beyonce Wonder Woman. Remember that?
She was
Beyonce
also
what?
She-Hulk too.
Well,
Empress Beyonce.
Yeah.
Well, I was reading today that from this writer, Matt Fraction, he was talking about the Punisher. Is it relevant that he went to the Vietnam War, or is more relevant that he was a soldier? I think
Make Punisher black.
Wow.
no,
one
no,
was
I'm
talking
saying
about
no.
it's the same.
I'm kidding.
It's more
I'm
like
kidding.
No.
the origin.
Oh, and
being-
Santiago was talking.
Yeah,
let him finish.
Santiago, I completely like agree with what you're saying. I would say, I would say I would err more on the side of the soldier thing, because when Punisher's origins were happening, it's like, okay, Vietnam was like a humiliating defeat for the U.S. Army, and so many people died. It was probably the most traumatic thing like ever.
Yeah.
Because we were completely, despite having greater numbers, we were completely outmatched because we were on their home soil and they could just pop up nowhere and people were dying left and right, and it wasn't war as we knew it.
Watch Forrest Gump.
But I think after, dude, Bubba died. But after,
Bubba.
after, now where we have the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War, I'm not going to go into how Vietnam has had an impact on how we fight wars, but I would say Afghanistan and Iraq are proving to be almost just as much like psychologically damaging.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that he's a soldier in general, he has to go through a traumatic, war like that. But I would say nowadays you could just have him be a veteran of Afghanistan, for example.
Yeah. Especially how the character is being perceived right now. I don't think it matters. I don't want to say Vietnam War didn't matter, but I want to say like him just being a soldier in general would probably just be
Yeah, I
as
agree.
suffice as a.
True. All right, so are we about wrapped up, or is there anything else you want to
Are we
say?
talking about Luke Cage? Since they're
Okay.
making the Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones,
Okay.
etc. TV show. Do you guys care if they cast a white guy, black guy? in
Yes,
the role?
I'd be really.
I would
mad.
care, yes.
I'd be
It needs
really
to be
mad.
black.
See,
The
'cause
real
no,
question is, do you want a white or black Jessica Jones?
Oh.
white,
I'd say white.
because it's a really
You
I
mean-
like
yeah,
the
she has
storyline
to-
they
she
played
has
in
to be
comics
white,
when they
yes.
had a kid.
Yeah.
Because when they had a kid in comics, there was a really cool storyline they had because the kid was mixed and stuff, and like they
That
they
hits home
did a
for you.
big
Yeah.
they did a big social commentary using that, like using their
Yeah.
relationship and stuff.
exactly.
So I think that's a key to like the two characters together.
Yeah,
So,
which
yeah,
is,
Josh,
which
you
is
don't
why
wanna take
those two
away.
characters can never have their race change because like it just
Like
No,
that's why
Josh,
they're
that
never
is-
gonna get divorced. Those-
Josh, that
those
is
characters are always gonna be
exactly what I was going to say. It's, I would say with changing the race of Luke Cage, it's one of those things where I think his relationship with Jessica Jones does justify never changing his race, because think about
Or
when
at least hers.
yeah, well, at least hers, but no, you kind of, I mean, you could change him as long as it was like a mixed race relationship, because that was huge. So that was like,
Yeah.
Captain Kirk and Uhura level right there. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things you can't. I went like, yeah, that's right. I went 50 years back for that reference. But,
I appreciate
ahead.
that.
yeah, you got that reference?
Yep.
Good.
So
Yeah.
those two just it can't be changed. Like Iron Fist, I think it really doesn't matter because in the end of the day, Iron Fist is a white guy doing Asian things. So I mean,
I would like him to be half Asian.
I would like him to just
Like-
stay white.
Well, no. I mean, like,
Yeah,
have
yeah.
some sort of Asian ancestry or something, like in some way, shape, or form. Like he doesn't have to be like biologically Asian,
mean,
but
He
you know,
has
like,
to,
Yeah,
'cause, I
I
mean,
don't-
it's one of
it
those
doesn't
things
really
where it's
matter.
such a big part of.
Well,
such a big
it's
part of his
part
book.
of his origin. Like they were traveling the world, or with his father was doing that. They were Americans, so it's kind of origin stuff.
Yeah. No, and I kind of agree. It's one of those things where I think such a big part of his origin is being, a white guy being exposed to that culture.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean, technically, yeah, you could do that for other races, but I think it's his story is one that I think could hit home for a lot of like the white population. In terms of it's about accepting other cultures in a way. So
Yeah,
that's
Which is
I mean, technically, he doesn't have to be white, but I would like to see him be white, if only to I guess, get on that soapbox and be like, hey,
yeah, and
we can actually be human beings for
man,
once.
CJ,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be the thing behind Green Lantern. All the different cultures and races of the universe coming together, getting along.
well,
That's
Marvel
one,
did it
one of
better.
the things. One of the things. Yeah, like X-Men. That's like the thing that's supposed to be in the X-Men. Like at least Bryan Singer like conveyed that message in the first X-Men movie. About like everybody coming together, uniting, being one. Like, come on, we live in the same planet. We're all humans.
Yeah.
Chill.
And I think
I gotta say
oh, you can go.
they did that with the second team of the X-Men. Like
Hmm?
Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Warpath,
Oh, yeah.
Wolverine.
Peter.
Eh,
Anyways,
Well, and even with I after you saying after White Sheep talking about the whole Iron Fist thing, I really agree because it's with the whole they made a point with Luke Cage marrying Jessica Jones, a white girl, and then Luke Cage's best friend being a white guy, Iron Fist. So I mean, it's that whole like if they changed it, like it's that whole like those two, like he's being accepting to other cultures, and now he's friends with like this black guy from the streets, and they can get along. Why can't we all just kind of get along and like accept each other? Which after White Sheep kind of bring that up, yeah, I don't think they could really change White Sheep in any way. I mean, not White Sheep.
Well,
oh God, Iron Fist. Iron Fist.
I remember something. This Iron Fist have a relationship with Misty Knight and she's black.
Yeah, so yeah, that relates
So-
all with the whole. So yeah, I mean, they can't really change that stuff. Like that stuff, like you can't change. Like I can understand other things
Yeah.
being changed, but like, yeah, that's those characters that just can't like. And White
Yeah,
Sheep.
And
Can't
also, you can't change characters'
You
names that
cannot
have the
change White
color
Sheep.
in it, like Black Lightning, Black Panther, Black Power. That's actually a character. Look it up. There's a character named Black
be
Power.
looking it up
hey,
right
that's
now.
racist, man.
Can't change.
Just
the-
because
Is there a
their
white
color.
power?
It will be more racist.
I would
if-
like to see a black guy be white power.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's it though. Does anyone else have anything to say? We've been at it for like an hour, so
It's hour 47 seconds, 48, 49,
White
50.
power.
Yeah.
well, I gotta
Just call
say,
the guy
I'm-
Powerhouse and have him part Asian, part Chinese, part white, and part black.
all right. Everybody say their final remarks. Starting with Santiago.
Okay. I gotta say that I'm really glad that we have like a lot of diversity with, I mean, Marvel mostly, because we have a Spider Girl, we have like in the Avengers Academy, we have a lot of diversity, and a lot of stuff is happening right now, and more with the series. I guess we're gonna get more of that diversity. So I'm really great right now with that.
All right, let's move on to David.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, if you're just gonna change the character just to make a change, don't. Of course, if it applies to its origin, don't. And yeah, Barry Allen's the best Flash.
Wow.
All right, Antoine.
Don't change the races if it really keys back to their story. Like,
What I just said.
Well, I don't care, David. Now you got me lost. And with all the characters that are being changed so far, it doesn't really relate back to their origins. So just don't think about before you guys speak or talk on forums. Like, actually physically think for yourselves and then talk about it. Also, I gotta applaud DC's Flash TV show. Even though they're kind of putting minorities in there forcefully, at least they're having a show that's going to be a lot more minorities than most TV shows that are out there. Even if the only Hispanic superhero they have is Vibe, at least they have Vibe.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Vibe was going to be in that show.
At least they have Vibe.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Central
Vibe.
City is really Detroit.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
Don't get me started on
All right.
Vibe.
And last thing I have to say, the very first episode of the Flash TV show, there was an Asian reporter, and then when Flash went back to his hometown Arrow, there was an Asian reporter too. So just saying.
Uh-oh.
Connections.
All right,
This is Family
so-
Guy. Trisha
Josh,
Takanawa.
Trisha Takanawa.
Takanawa.
All right, so Josh,
Takanawa.
I'm gonna let you go first because you come out of your hiatus for this and only this
Okay.
for the viewers. So tell them your thoughts, my friend.
If you're somehow still watching this, I applaud you for being dedicated, first off.
Yes, thank you.
Also, let me just say Tim Drake's the best Robin. Wally West is the best Flash.
That's it.
John
okay.
Stewart's the best Green Lantern.
Agree.
Clark Kent's the best Superman.
Is there
Bruce
another?
Wayne's the best Batman.
Is there another?
Actually, scratch that. Terry McGinnis is the. Fine. No, basically what I'm getting at here is, I think we pretty much covered race. You know, it really only matters if it connects to the character's origin, because most of the time, with a lot of these characters, when their races are changed or something like that, or they are involved in something with like a race change, it's supposed to speak to a social. It's like a social commentary
Yeah.
for our time, especially like with Green Lantern was a big deal. They had a big social commentary thing about that. Also, X-Men were all about. That's pretty much what all like the X-Men were about. It seems initially was all about racism and just basically like discrimination against people that weren't like white, straight, stuff like that. Like if you were gay, discriminated against. X-Men spoke to you. If you were another race, X-Men spoke to you. Like basically, yeah, I think we pretty much covered all of it. And yeah, I'm just waiting for the day they make, like Superman officially like straight up just black. Like we get, I don't know,
Obama man.
Obama, man.
no, who's an
He gets sunburned too bad.
up and
and then he
coming
becomes
black
black.
actor?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is the
I feel
only
like he's
one.
the
Michael
only
B. Jordan
one.
plays everyone.
Hey, he might be.
I
I
think
don't
he
know.
honestly is.
Yeah, clearly with how everyone's talking about him. Could you just imagine Denzel as Superman
That
though?
would be interesting.
Alo would just be as like,
sadly,
okay,
that's-
okay.
Dude, you know who Denzel Washington
Lots
be
of
perfect
clapping.
for? Denzel Washington would be perfect for Blue
Or Lex
Marvel
Luthor.
because he has that
Yes.
look. Like he has that exact look
Yes, he does have
that
the
Blue
Blue Marvel.
Marvel has in the current Mighty Avengers
Yeah.
comic.
All right, I'm going to try to sum my thoughts up real
Fantastic.
quick. One, just like David said before, and like I said earlier, don't change it without a good reason. And if you're gonna change it, make it good.
So basically, don't fix it if it ain't broke, kind of.
Yes,
Right.
don't fix it if it ain't broke. Like nobody, like that's one of my things about Michael B. Jordan is like Johnny Storm wasn't broke, so why are you fixing it?
He was perfect.
I think he'll be great, but I don't think it's it's one of those things where I'm not sure it's a necessary change. So like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But other than that, really, I mean, like I said, comics are a global phenomenon, and I think comics are starting more and more to reflect that. But they've still got a long way to go before they fully represent the whole of the countries and I guess really the world that they represent. So
They can't represent the entire world until that we get a Green Lantern who's not from America.
Yeah.
true.
And
Or
I just
a woman.
I just want to say really quickly before we end this off, kind of jumping off what White Sheep said a few seconds/minutes ago. I personally think that if it's like the first time we're going to see this major character in a movie, I think they should try their best to match the character's appearance in the comics. But it's a lot more lenient if the character's already been seen a few times, like in theaters and stuff like that. I think, like, example, let's say they're making a Flash movie. If they're casting Barry Allen, I personally want a white blonde-haired guy. And if it's
Okay.
gonna be Wally West, I want a redhead guy to play the
Yeah.
characters. But like, let's say we've had a few Flash movies, and they don't want to do Wally West, they just want to do another Barry Allen, and they hire like a Hispanic guy or something like that. I wouldn't be pissed because I've already gotten Flash on screen just like he is in the comics, essentially.
Or hear me out here, Jay Garrick Black.
Jay Garrett.
Yeah.
Dude,
That'd be
That would
interesting,
be
especially
interesting.
since Jay Garrick is supposed to be like
Yeah,
earlier.
that would be very interesting.
Yeah.
unless they do the whole Earth 2 thing.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
what I
guys, we have eclipsed the 1 hour and 5 minute mark.
Picture Shazam being black. His word wouldn't be Shazam. It'd be the Popo.
Josh is clearly not on board with me here, but I'm thinking that we should, just save everybody and
If you're watching this
Try
far,
to end
comment
this.
below. Bojangles.
If you're watching, also comment below #hybrid for Beta Ray Bill 2014.
no, the wrong.
Yes.
No,
Just
hybrid
stop being
for
Sean
Beta Ray Bill.
Bojangles.
If I get cast, or one character I'd love to be cast as would be Beast Boy
What?
in
Okay.
a Teen Titans movie. I'm not gonna lie, Beast Boy in a Teen Titans movie. I'd love to do it. For a DC movie, yeah. For a Marvel
Well,
movie,
you already typecast as Beta Ray Bill, so
dang.
can't change
you're
that.
too late, Josh. You're too late.
No, but Josh, don't worry. You can still play Jay Garrick.
Jay Garrick.
That's his dream.
Yeah.
If I could be any let's see, this is hard. All right,
Let's,
so
okay, let's.
we'll
maybe
cut
make-
it. We'll cut the audio already.
Okay.
Just talking off the recording that we're done.
We're done. Okay.
Oh, we're done?
Uh,
Okay.
Josh,
yeah.
if you gonna do a discussion about women in the industry, in the comic industry, I'm down to do it.
That would be a good
I think that'd be a good
that would
one.
be a good one.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd
Joel-
love to say that.
Joel-
The next
hilarious.
one, the next one that I want to make is one. I mean, one we need to redo the retcons and reboots
Yes.
thing. But the other thing I want to do is maybe one, like, since it's a fresh topic, just essentially like solely about Peter Parker coming back, and I guess like just about people's reactions to that. It's not as wide ranging as the other ones, and hopefully it won't be an hour long. But whatevs.
It'll probably be like 45 minutes because you can't really go that in depth. Because Superior might be like interesting to hear, but you can't go that long about talking about it.
We'll have to do best Spider-Man.
What?
We'd have to do something like the best Spider-Man.
What are your choices? Ben Riley, Peter, or Miles?
No, there's a lot more. There's
Uh,
Superior Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man,
Scarlet
Spider-Man
Spider.
2099,
Oh
Ben
yeah.
Riley Spider-Man. You have Spider-Ham.
Yeah, whatever that
you
is.
have
yeah.
Miles Morales.
Yeah, isn't that him just Peter Parker that got
Yeah,
turned
I have
into
a comic
a
of
big.
that. I don't know why I do.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have to bounce. Josh, is this gonna be like? Are you able to edit this right now?
Ciérrala.
Well, see, I can edit it, but once I edit it, I won't be able to render it because when I leave, I won't be here to like. upload
Just
it.
send it to me, and if you edit it, send it to me. I'll render it. But right now, I gotta go. I gotta piss like a racehorse. So,
Call me back.
yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much for being on here.
We shall piss. Like
Thank
a
you.
racehorse.
All right,
Thank
yeah.
you, man.
Yeah,
Santiago, you
thank
were
you,
great.
honestly.
David, always good talking to you. Antoine, you've been here enough. I'm not
Antoine,
gonna say goodbye.
Josh, I really gotta go too. It's like my whole family here, and they
Yeah,
asked me-
go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks for taking
no,
the time to
but-
talk to
but
me.
I- I'm really serious about the woman
That'd be a good
discussion.
one.
If,
Hey, you know
if
what?
ever
We're gonna-
to do it, I'm down to it. Really,
Yeah.
really.
I'll
We're
let
gonna keep
everybody
a tab
know.
for that.
Well, I gotta go. So if just before I go, if you guys are doing the Spider-Man or the anything with Flash, I want in because I just love to talk about it. And yeah, before I go, Barry Allen's best Flash.
Go speed
All right,
off.
I think you should mic drop.
See you
now.
later. See you later,
See ya.
guys.
All right, bye guys.
Later.
Yeah, I don't have a